in the previous episode. I think it's a very clean build. And now, hi guys, and welcome back to another Rate My Ride video. This poofy head creature in front of you is Zach from Nerdworks Media, and today we're going to be rating another 3 of my friends' rides. So first up we have Richard's car. I know Richard quite well. Also one of the very first people that I met in the car scene. Richard's got a white SR20 swapped Nissan S13. Now, from a first glance on Richard's car, looking through his Instagram, I quite like his setup. He had black T37s. I don't know if they were genuine or replicas, but it looked good. I'm very much for the black against white contrast. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that setup that he had. Recently he's moved on to replica rotiform wheels, red against the white. Now, I spoke about red wheels a lot in the previous episode. I think they definitely make the car stand out a lot compared to what you usually see in the car world. But I don't know, on this setup, Richard, I'm going to be honest, I prefer the black wheels. Although the red does look really good. Some notes on Richard's car. It's a blacktop SR20 DET. He's on BC Racing coilovers. Has a GT3071R. Now I'm not sure what he was previously running. He's got a custom V-mount intercooler setup. Like I said, he has replica rotiform wheels. They are 17-inch 8.5J ET35, and he's running 245 by 14 by 17 tires. So a reasonably meaty setup. I've seen this thing, okay, more do burnouts than digs, but yeah, no, besides it can light up tires, that thing can pull hard. It's got a good amount of grip. He's got a big aluminium radiator, obviously for all the extra cooling. Now he's running larger boosts and stuff. Custom cold air intake, Grady oil filter relocation kit, a 76mm stainless steel exhaust, a 110mm F1X tailpipe, 440cc injectors, custom fuel rail, and a limited slip differential. He's running a pretty high-end car. I mean, from the few things that I have seen in terms of like shows and stuff, the few times that I have seen his car lands up pulling a lot of attention, and you can see why. It's a very, very well taken care of S13. As well as it's just a very clean build. It's very well done, very neatly put together, very well built. It's a very clean setup, and then also with those red rims, it really makes the car pop. Again, I personally still like the black ones more, but that's beside the point. So yeah, with those red rims, it really makes the car stand out against a lot of the other show builds that you see, especially around our shows. There's not much else that like really compares to this. For rating, Richard, I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10. I'd rate you higher, but I've seen what can be done to the valve cover and stuff like that in terms of like engine bay to set that up and how it looks. And I think if you had to like do some color in there, and then for me personally, I like the black rims, but I understand why you got for the red. But then I guess you could like match the red from the rims to the engine bay. That would get you a 10 out of 10. You'd have a really good show car on your hands then. But this car's been through the wars and it's come out looking as it has, this couldn't be prouder. It's got a really good, it looks really good, it's got a really good setup. The only thing that I could knock on is that I like the black rims more than I did the red rims. I've seen white rims and those are pretty cool. Just saying, you could do something like that, but I know you have your own plan set up for how you want it to look. So, but yeah, engine bay could use some more color. Otherwise, 9 out of 10. Very clean build. I really like your car and how it's set up and done. Next up we have Andrew with his 1992, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Euros Roadster, Endos Roadster, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but he's got a special spec with Nardi extra. I'm going to pronounce a lot of these things wrong, please do forgive me. Andrew, if you're watching, you can comment in the bottom how to actually say it or exactly what they are. So it's sitting on some Bilstein suspension and struts with a 40mm drop from factory. It's the 1.6 B6 ZE motor. It's currently running on a low boost setup, which is around 5 psi, but he's busy installing a PowerMods ECU that should allow him to get a lot more. With that being said, I've seen this car move versus I believe it's a 600 horsepower 300Z. This wasn't being left far behind. This thing was still on its tail. It was there. It was making itself known. Exterior wise, I've seen it since it's been resprayed. It looks really good. And then it's running on 15-inch replica wheels. He says it's nothing special, although I will admit I have seen them. It really suits the style that he's got his car at right now. I think it looks really good. The gold against the brand new red, it looks really good. It definitely suits the style of build that he's going for. He's kind of gone for a classic roadster style. Looking through his Instagram, I can see he's gone through a few different setups. As far as I'm aware, he's done 3 different styles, 3 different looks. Originally he had a white rim setup against the red. So I personally like the white against red. I thought it looks good, as we know from the previous episode. On a more recent note, I know he went for a more like aggressive aero style, although he very quickly retreated from that. I liked it, but in the same breath, it was a little bit too much. Like, it was very aggressive. But I like what he has now. I think the setup that he has now, it's very subtle, very clean. I mean, even engine bay wise and interior wise, this thing is just clean. This thing is really well built. It's got an absolutely stunning setup engine bay wise. It's got a polished valve cover. The red piping, this thing just looks perfect. It's honestly a perfect build, which leads on to the rating. And Andrew, I know you guessed a 6 when we were talking about it over the phone, but mate, it's a lot higher than 6. I'm giving your car a 10 out of 10. This is just a very well built car. I can't think of anything else that I'd do differently. The only thing that I could say is that you could color match your turbo. Like you could, I don't know if you can even get your turbo to match your valve cover, like a polished look, or if you could get it red so it kind of suits the rest of the car, or maybe even a gold so it suits your rims. Don't know, but it's very, there's nothing else that I could ask from this car. For our third and final car of the day, we've got Corin. He's got a S13. Surprise, surprise. Most of my friends drive very similar cars to what I do, Miatas and S13s. So Corin's car, just by first looks, this is a super clean build. In terms of specs, It's a 1991 Nissan 200SX. Same year as mine. Nice. It's currently sitting with an RB25 DET from a 1995 R33 Skyline. It's got a 4-puck clutch, power mods, ECU management. It's got an aftermarket fuel rail. It's on 750cc injectors, a larger intercooler, a Grady replica intake with a 90mm throttle body. It's on that stock turbo from the RB, from its original state, but I mean this thing still moves. It's got a large aluminium radiator, a 76mm exhaust with a JDM back box, a D1 spec 6-pot calipers with 333mm slotted discs up front. There's a lot of things that I'm not 110% sure on, but I mean, if you've... Obviously I'm flashing pictures through whilst I'm talking about this. This car is really well built. This car is also very clean. It's sitting on D1 spec coilovers and 18-inch XXR 527s with 225 by 40 up front and a 255 by 35 in the rear. So a very aggressive setup as well. Again, I've seen this thing in person. The fitment is, yeah. He's got LED headlights that I think look really good. I've always liked, again, the retro modern vibe I said in the last episode as well. This thing kind of fulfills that. It really fills that area, that zone. I mean, he's got a touch screen on the inside. He's got a retro modern setup that I can really appreciate. He's also running 205 rear kilowatts. I'm gonna have to give this also a 10 out of 10. I can't think of anything that I'd change. If I'm to knock one little thing, now that I'm looking through your Instagram though, so I've just noticed it, is that I'd get your brake calipers matched to the purple in your engine bay. That's it. I can't say anything else about this. It is insane. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Had some absolutely phenomenal cars this episode. I honestly could barely pick holes with any of them. Richard's car was amazing, just needs a little bit of color in the engine bay, and for me personally, go back to the black rims. And then Andrew and Corin's car, no, those were insane. 10 out of 10 builds. Well, that's it for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and a comment down below. You can follow down below for my Instagram account, where I'm going to be from now on asking on my story if anyone would like to join for the next episode. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. There's still probably going to be some bloopers after this. If you didn't watch the bloopers in the last episode, I highly recommend it. It was very entertaining. So stick around to the end of the video to watch some bloopers. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing and giving the video a like. Stay tuned for more. But yeah, stick for more bloopers. Like this one. Today we are going to be going through another 3 of my car's friends. Should do more scripting, so I don't have to say all the time. Yes. Yeah, people walking past and I feel awkward. Does everyone have to drive past now? Okay, loud noises. Shall we start? Yep, there we go. Does everyone have to drive past at this very minute? There was nobody earlier. Nobody. No? Everybody. Oh, it's another Miata, but I didn't see it. Ooh, sparkles!